Hi, Marguerite Brigham here with the second video series in a love story of humanity. And as always, whenever I start a project, I let go of the outcome. And so because I took the steps and started part one, now that the energy has moved through me, I have to get out of my own way. And something I had no idea that I would be sharing has come forward. And yesterday I did share that I had a yoga studio and I called it the Yoga Connection. Today I'm going to just bring this a little bit closer for you. One heart, one mind, one world. And I was sharing how literally I became one heart with my grandbaby last year, and the part that wants to continue is about a month later. I'm sharing from a journal that actually I started when I began searching for a yoga studio. This is in Ontario, in Orangeville, so I now live in BC. Not only did I have to leave my family to write a book and come to this land that actually helped me write it, I had to give up my yoga studio and my yoga family, which was very hard as well. So I don't know if I'll ever be sharing my journey of the steps to open up a yoga studio, but it was the beginning of really following my intuition and getting out of my logical mind, which kept saying, "You're crazy." But understand how my life is circles and cycles, and I actually kind of feel like a tree with many branches, and I never know from one day, 1 month, 1 year to the next which wants the attention, because there's so many parts that of this tree that need to be watered, I guess, and bloomed. But anyways, right now it's the promise that I made to my grandbaby for a better world for her and all children and generations to come. So I write down, this was January 14th, 2009, and I went for a Reiki treatment. And when the woman who was giving me Reiki moved to my heart center, I joined a circle of white animals, and our hearts became one. I was sitting in the south position. I was sitting in the south of the circle, so I'm in the south right now. So it was to my left, there was the crow, the raven, the rabbit, a unicorn, a bear, a wolf, a buffalo, a squirrel, a fox, and a lion with an eagle flying above. And these were all white animals. And the unicorn then took me to a lavender field to lay down while it stood guard. And then the picture changed, and we were at a sacred rock where I used to do a lot of ceremony in Ontario. And when I was there once, I was in a meditation breathing, and I started breathing with the earth. I don't know if you've ever have experienced it, but it was a bit scary, but it was amazing. And so I was told, and there was a snowy owl in the tree there, and I was told that I can do ceremony there in my mind at any time, and it will have the same effect as if I'm there in person. And so what happened then was the next 3 days, shows on TV kind of confirmed this vision of our hearts beating as one, the animals and I. And so the Friday, January 16th, there was a movie on called Miracle, and it was about a true story of a hockey team for the USA that were college kids and who won the gold medal in the 1980 Olympics in Lake Placid. The message was one of family, teamwork, working hard for a dream, and believing that it can happen. And then the next evening, Saturday night, we watched a movie on magic. It was another true story of the magicians Siegfried and Roy. And it started with their childhoods and their imaginings of a better life. Siegfried is the magician and Roy is the magic of connecting to animals. And in my vision, I didn't know that there was white lions. And it showed how that they lived lives of sacrifice, imagining better future, and then showed that their home, and they lived with white lions and tigers. And so this message was that when we connect to the magic of the child within, we can live in peace and harmony with the animals. And what I loved about that story was, you know, they accentuated the positive and not the negative. The media had showed that one of them was attacked by the lion, but this was really about the love in their hearts, you know, that, which I believe is the feminine qualities of patience and gentleness and a strong love. And this gentle, strong love can overcome the beast. So they lived in harmony, and wouldn't that be wonderful? I mean, if they can do it, why can't we all? Why can't our children live in harmony? And then the last story on the Sunday was a show on the polar bears, and it was the Arctic and the problems they're having, and it also showed the life of the grizzly, and that there was even a white-brown bear, the mother of a polar bear and the father a grizzly bear. And it also showed an Arctic fox, a white fox, who followed the polar bears. And I guess what I want to finish with here is what I want to share about the journey. This was in January. In February, you know, our lives are so busy, and we forget the things that are happening around us. In February, there was a peace circle here in BC, and it was the biggest circle of all of us spreading out and holding hands. And James Twyman, he was saying all the prayers and for all the different religions, and we were repeating after him. And that connection of oneness was amazing. And you know, we are in the age of Aquarius, and so many people forget that for so long the prophecies and even the song, everyone thinks it's just a hippie song, but you know, in February, Valentine's Day of 2009, the song of Age of Aquarius came true. And we forget that, and how wonderful that this prophecy that was sung in the 60s actually happened on the day of the heart, February 14th, when the sun is in the seventh sky. I don't know this song. And Jupiter aligns with Mars, and peace will guide the planet, and love will rule the stars. That alignment happened this year, and it's time to celebrate. I know there's so much to worry about, but you know, it's time to celebrate our transformation. We are in the dark night of the soul. As the world, so many have done it individually, now it's the world. It's a death of the old, and we should be celebrating the rebirth, and it's just as I said, the patience and the gentleness and the strong love for our world, for our children. Thank you. Namaste.